Welcome to Mindful Stress Reduction, Objective Pain. We're going to work with three aspects for dealing with pain in an objective way. First, we're going to learn about grounding, and then we're going to focus some attention on breathing, and then finally we will actually do some practice where we're going to work some of the pain that we may have in our body. So we can see from this little stick figure that emotions can generate thoughts and thoughts can generate emotions. So this is the difficulty when we're dealing with pain, whether it be acute pain or chronic pain. We still have this potential to get into this anxiety loop cycle. So what we do to change that, to break that, is we redirect our attention to safe locations in the body. So you can see these locations are outlined in the little stick figures. So for guidelines, everything is here is optional, and take as much time or as little time, or just don't bother with any of them. And the emotions can be strong, so that's why we always get grounded first. That's why we do this practice before we look at the breath or before we actually do a practice of working with our pain. And objective before subjective. So the best way to take and work with pain or any emotion is first to be objective about it, and that means that we use I feel the pain, as opposed to my pain, or I am so in so much pain. So the next is do not, this does not replace any professional care or any medications. For success, there's three main components. One is just to be interested in, what is this all about? And then the courage to be able to feel the sensations, feel the pain too, and then to practice. Mindfulness is experiential, 80 to 90% experiential, and this is where all the benefit comes from, is when we practice. So if we look at mindfulness, this is the mindfulness triangle. So we have attention, and this attention, as best we can, is non-judgmental, what we might call beginner's mind, full attention. And then over here we have intention. Now this is where we always have a choice. We can be in relationship to what's ever happening in our experience of attention. So here we make a choice of how to deal with the pain or deal with the emotion. And then that is the action, is whatever the phrase, or it could be, in some cases we're going to be flexing fingers and toes. So it could be either physical action and or mental action, but there is an action, and that completes this cycle, so that now that we can start to change the synapse connections in the brain, and we're more effective at working with pain. So it could be said that there's a pain 1 and a pain 2. Pain 1 being the physical pain. I have a sore back, and then the emotional pain of, I don't know what I'm going to do about it. I wonder, could there be some disease here? Will I be able to continue to work? That can generate a lot of emotion, which isn't helpful, which puts more cortisol and adrenaline into our bloodstream and doesn't allow the parasympathetic system to start to heal the body. So we'll next move to grounding. So with grounding and finding, this is spatial awareness. So we just become aware of where our toes would be, where our fingers would be, where our tongue is. So this is the entry point to start the grounding. Next, we actually can start to flex our toes, our fingers, our tongue, in order to get the brain involved. So now we're bringing in another aspect of the brain, which again is going to help to break up these emotional stress loops. And we'll cover this later in another micro course. The grounding, then we allow the intention of feeling. I just want to feel the bare feelings of my toes, my fingers, my tongue, without judgment again. And then we can also later bring that non-judgmental awareness over to the pain when we're actually working with our pain and feeling the pain. So the next step is to focus on breathing, bring attention to it. So we want to find the breath. So the go-to is always just to breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. So we tend to think first before we actually take action. So this helps to ground the mind, and it gives the mind something to focus on, as opposed to this here. These are just being generated more out of habit, but when we are intentional, we come into an intentional phrase of intention. Now we're back in control. And then breathing and flexing. Breathing in, I breathe deeply into the belly. Breathing in, I breathe deeply into the belly. Breathing in, I breathe deeply into the belly. And you can do that as long as you want. You'll know best. Your inner wisdom will guide you with that. And then the next stage would be breathing and feeling. And now this is subtler, so that we know that we're coming home, we're coming back into presence. So when we can feel the belly moving as we breathe in. Breathing in, I feel the belly move. Breathing in, I feel the belly move. Breathing in, I feel the belly move. So the next stage is to practice. So the practice starts again with finding. Now we become interested. We're using that quality that we had spoken of earlier. We're going to become interested, and we're also going to we're going to be courageous. We're going to say, I'm willing to take and go and to take and find the pain. I'm interested in it, and I want to feel it. I want to be with it. I want to change the relationship to my pain, so I don't have so much emotional aversion to it, and I can actually just be with the plain, simple physical pain, and there I can learn more and bring more healing to it, probably. So the next practice is breathing in, I feel the pain. Breathing in, I feel the pain. Breathing in, I feel the pain. And so that's why we become grounded, so that we can be with the pain. We can share some of our sensation in our toes and our fingers and our tongue at the same time that we're actually feeling the pain. So we're learning to be able to be with the pain, which is much different than trying to avoid it and push it away, because typically that's not going to happen. And then the final practice is the healing part. So breathing in, may the pain be well. Breathing in, may the pain be well. Breathing in, may the pain be well. Now it doesn't mean that it's going to magically just vanish, but what we're doing is we're inclining the mind, we're rebalancing the parasympathetic nervous system so it can do everything it can to help to heal the body. So in summary, objective pain can be worked with. It's very manageable. What we want to avoid, and this is pretty much always available to us, is the emotional component. So we just want to have to focus on one pain rather than two pains. And the first step is always the grounding. So we get grounded by being interested in finding the safe locations in our body, flexing them, and feeling them. Next is the breath, which is more subtle, finding the breath using a phrase. Again, breathing in more deeply, again, to help to bring more oxygen into our bloodstream, allows the brain to think clear, and actually feeling the belly moving on its own. We know that we're coming back into presence. And then finally, the practice of finding the pain, having the courage to go out and find the pain. So then just breathing in and being with the pain, having a new relationship with it. Is it really as bad as what I thought it was? Can I be with this? And again, being able to move back to the grounding aspects of it, back and forth, or completely moving back to the grounding if the pain is too severe. And then the final is the practice of the healing, just this gentle, caring intention, breathing in, may the pain be well. So thank you for your interest in this video, and we'd like to produce more of them, and if you would like to see more of them, would you please like this video so that we can continue. As long as we have interest in them, then we'll continue to produce them. So once again, thank you for your time and your interest.